we're on the floor today because we're trying things out. We're trying things different. I'm noticing that AI is slowly creeping into our everyday lives. Not slowly, at the speed of light actually, but it's slowly creeping into our relationships, our romantic relationships, our friendships, our family members, our relationship with ourselves. And this may just be within my circle or my experience, but I have noticed people using AI more and more for processing their emotions. There are even companies spinning up for the sole purpose of being AI-driven therapists that are in your pocket. And so today I want to talk about the ways that people use them that I think are actually beneficial, and then ways that I think, even in my personal experience, have not been great. I'm not a licensed therapist, but this is just like my experience. I think that if you are using it to diagnose yourself, it's basically like a superpowered WebMD, and that's not great because you are a very bad source of truth and bad narrator for your own conditions. You should definitely see someone that is trained in this. Claude or ChatGPT, no matter how well it's trained today, is still not good enough to understand context in a larger window that is required to diagnose people. I have spiraled into a very dark place at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m., and I didn't want to bother anybody. If you can very, very clearly in your head know that if you use Claude or ChatGPT as a journal, as just a place to put your thoughts so that you don't have them swirling in your head, and then you can maybe like synthesize it, see it, have it spoken back to you as like a third party. That's fine too. Just know that they are your thoughts and they're not meant to be a diagnosis. They're not meant to be anything more than literally what's going on in your head. And that is all the power that it should ever have. Huge fan of journaling, huge fan of putting thoughts in your head, outside of your head, so you can process them at a later time. I think that's very, very helpful. And I'd say that that's a pretty neutral way to use AI. Here is where I think it starts to get a little dangerous though. The next thing I want to talk about is using AI as a friend. I was using Claude, and Claude I think has been the sneaky one. Claude, because when ChatGPT first came out, it was cringy as hell. It was basically, people were joking that it was just always gonna be your hype man, gonna be something that can, like, it just told you everything you wanted to hear. This is what everyone says. It just tells you everything you want to hear. And then when Claude came out and the models got better, the dangerous part came when the models were trained so that it was not always telling you what you wanted to hear, and it would push back, but it's still an LLM. It's still guessing, and it doesn't have the full context of you as a person. And it's still a model. It doesn't actually have a nervous system, experiences, none of that, right? And that matters because what a friend can do for you that AI currently can't is provide you with empathy. And empathy can only be done by someone doing the emotional work to understand where you're coming from. Then that's where the connection is, right? This is only done by another human, another soul that is literally trying to be in your place and someone that's trying to experience some of this like burden on you. AI can't do that. AI can fake it. AI can tell you things. I had this experience where I was just in tears, typing away. I was going through something, and this line did it for me. Claude said, "You're not alone." And I remember I had to like put my phone down, and I stepped back, and I was like, actually, now I feel alone. I wasn't feeling alone up until this moment, but now I feel alone because this is just some text stream telling me I'm not alone. It's not sharing this moment with me. And also, it hit me that I have not been sharing how I'm feeling these last week or two, whatever what I was going through. I hadn't been sharing what I was going through with my friends. So not only was I not talking to an actual person, I was unloading so much of what I was going through to this thing that would run out of credits. And even if I had all the money in the world, I have now lost time and energy when I could be connecting with friends that would have actually been my support system. The more time you spend talking to this AI is time that you really should have been connecting and leaning into your community and leaning into your friends, because those are the people at the end of the day that you're trying to build this with. My friends had no idea what I was going through. I was going through it alone. I was going through it alone with something telling me that I wasn't alone, which was absolute nonsense. It's kind of like when you like have you see a kid that's being really precocious in a TV show or something, and they have a suit on and they're just like, man, life's rough, isn't it? Something's cheesy like that. But the joke is there because you see this kid that's trying to relate to this middle-aged man or something with like all these experiences, and this kid obviously doesn't have the same experiences but can say the things that an adult would probably say. It doesn't work. Like, the joke is there literally because everyone that in the audience understands that this child does not have the experiences, and that's how we should be feeling about AI. It does not have the experience. It can mimic emotion, it can mimic friendship. It's not the same thing. That being said, I think it's a really great tool to research. If you have a therapist and you want to research the things that maybe this therapist is telling you, it's great. I love to go on walks with my dog. I'm just kind of using the voice feature in Claude and I'm just doing research. The last thing I wanted to just add as a bonus, I haven't personally done this, but I think it'd be really interesting too. I have a friend that has used chat or Claude, I don't know which one she uses, Grok, I don't know, but she uses it as a translator for when her and her partner or whoever she wants to have some sort of like hard conversation with, she'll use it as a middleman. And I think that if you treat this AI as not someone that's actually like taking sides, or you give it a very specific prompt that says, hey, you are just here to facilitate, you're the mediator, I think that could be a great use. She's had great results where you have this model that's literally just a mediator and you both share your sides, and something about hearing an argument, maybe not even argument, but just hearing emotions and some sort of like side of a story that isn't coming from the person that you have all these like feelings towards, hearing it come from something else, it's just so much easier to hear. Like, I think especially if you've hurt somebody and they're trying to tell you that, it's so hard to hear. Like, as a human being with an ego, it's so hard to hear. But like, if you hear it back in different words from some other entity, for some reason it's easier to hear. So I think on both sides, I think using AI as a mediator, totally great use of it. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video to remind everybody to talk to their friends, call them up. If you're going through something hard, remember that empathy can only really be given by a human. AI is changing a lot of things in our lives, and the last thing I want for everyone is to feel lonelier. So if you can use it for better connection and find ways to use it to strengthen your bonds with other people, and use it to kind of like better yourself, your education, your own kind of health, then yeah, go for it. Anyway.